Coach, obviously the ranking. I mean, I know you all don't think about that. Do you tell your defense anything after last week to keep them focused?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, we put a lot of work into this season in preparation. That was one game. We expected to go out and play well, and we executed the game plan. But at the end of the day, that's behind us now. And the thing we got to do is continue to focus on the things that we can control. And right now we control getting ready for Marshall and playing that game and playing to our ability. So really, the work we do during the off season is to have moments like this. But we're not done yet. We got a lot of football left, and we got to continue to work and understand that we got to worry about controlling the things we can control, which is getting ready for Marshall.
But the effort, and once you watched the video last week, was it as good as an effort?
Yeah, I thought the guys played very hard. We played fast, physical, and aggressive, which we always want to do defensively. I think the guys took a lot of pride in the game plan, took a lot of pride in their work, executed, and went out and performed. And I think it fueled a little bit based upon some of the plays that were happening and the way we were getting after them. And I think it kind of fueled. But I was really proud of them, and we understand it, but we got to move forward.
How did Jaire end up on defense? How you kind of think back to those discussions with?
Yeah, I mean,
he obviously could have played offense.
He could have. I mean, it's okay to have guys that can catch the ball on defense too, guys that have ball skills and guys that can, when they catch it, can do something with it. So he's a physical guy. He's got the skill set to be a corner. He's a good tackler. He's got some size to him. So I mean, you do need to play with guys on defense too. So we needed him in our numbers.
What do you think of his punt return too?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, I think that shows the skill set he has once he gets the ball in his hands. So anytime we can get our hands on the ball defensively and he can get a pick, then obviously he's got a chance to do something with it. But anytime we put points on the board, that's a good thing for the team.
What are your thoughts on your two outside rushers, James and Devontae?
Yeah, I think that both James and Devontae are doing an excellent job. They work hard. They take a lot of pride in their work. They work to develop their craft and their skill set. They understand the game plan. They understand who they're playing and how to attack them based upon film study. Have a good idea of what's coming relative to the formations and the splits and where guys line up. And they do a good job of working the game, meaning if things happen, because everybody's going to adjust a little bit during the game. People always put things in, and as people do that, they do a good job of adjusting to what they see. They understand the whole defense, the whole package. I've been real pleased with them. We just got to continue to work and keep doing the things we're doing.
It's the threat level to have both of those guys on both sides like that.
Well, I think anytime you can get guys that can rush the edges, it gives you a chance to affect the quarterback every down. I think those guys have done a good job not only in the passing game as far as coming off the edges, but also from setting the edge of the defense and doing those kind of things in the run game too. So we just got to keep playing. But anytime you get playmakers outside at that position, you got a chance to be productive.
What went into the decision to start Shaq this past game?
Well, Shaq had an injury coming into the first game, and we were trying to work him back in. He was very questionable for the first game, and it was really almost trying to get him ready for the second game. So we feel like we have three starters there and guys that have played for us. So based upon the matchups we have, we're going to keep rolling those guys.
How did you think of the nickel that you showed to start the game with D being out?
I thought it was fine. I mean, Josh can play strong safety, and it allowed us to play. Defense is about playing your best 11 guys, and by doing that, Stacy played money backer. Josh played strong safety, and the fits are the same because those two guys travel together on a lot of things. So there wasn't a lot of learning for Josh from that standpoint, and I felt it was the best thing to do because the number one thing we had to do was stop the run, and those two guys are one of our better tacklers, and they're physical, so it allowed us to play what I feel like our best players in the run situation, and then from a coverage situation, Stacy can cover, Josh can play, safety or money, so it allowed us to play our best 11 players.
Todd, go back to another up-tempo team this week. Mm-hmm. Just talk about what problems they possess, and the 6'6" quarterback's a little different.
I mean, they have a big quarterback that has a really strong arm. He can make all the throws. He he can throw it from one sideline to the other. So you've obviously got a guy that's got arm strength, and anytime you have a guy that can throw the ball down the field, it's going to challenge you defensively. Then when you look at their wideouts, they have some bigger guys out there that can go up and get the ball. They got some guys that can catch the ball in the slot. So, we understand that we've got to worry about us and playing to our ability and doing the things that we need to do to play well, and that's where the focus needs to be.
All right. Just talk about the pressure you guys got on them. It seemed like once every other play it was either you or Devontae kind of flip-flop. Talk about the pressure you got on Francois last week and how much that kind of led to the good performance you guys had as a defense.
Well, I think, we did a good job of just executing the game plan. Coaching them had a good one drawn up for us. So us as players, this helped us to just go out and execute everything they call. So, I think, we got some pressure on them early that kind of, set the tempo for the rest of the game. So, I think we just carried out the game plan that we had in.
Do you think your sack kind of got things rolling a little bit?
It's a factor in the game. No one man makes up the whole game, but I will say, it was, something to get us going early and kind of set the tempo.
How do you put the ranking and all the attention and everything else out of your minds and focus on Marshall?
It's actually very easy. We talked about the FSU game briefly on when we had met on Sunday, and Coach Petrino told us, just give yourself a pat on the back, on to the next, because it's one game, it's a conference game. Yeah, it's a very important game, but at the same time, it's only the third game of the season. It's a very long season, so everybody now, it's not that hard to move on to Marshall because it's the next game on your schedule.
For you, it's kind of the start of a season that you kind of want. Your opportunity.
Yeah, I think I'm making the most of my opportunity. So, that's just what I planned on doing before the season started. They told me I was going to be the starter, so I'm just here to, give them my all and be the best player I can be.
I was ask you before about how you've kind of changed various positions since you've been here. How have you changed, your body as far as, what were you when you were a sophomore, freshman, something like that, and maybe, what you weigh now?
I've definitely trimmed down a lot. When the coaches got here, I was about 285. Then I got down to about 235, 240. I've been in there ever since. So, I think I've trimmed down a lot, and it's actually helped my speed and the way I bend off the edge.
So you had kind of bulked up to play, on the D-line, right? I guess basically.
Right. When they first got here, I was more of a 3 technique, more of an inside guy.
Yeah. So what do you feel like now? Obviously, you look explosive out there. Is that how you feel?
I feel good. I think actually playing that position helped me learn the playbook because, I've kind of been everywhere on the defense, so it gives me a good grasp, and which allows me to play multiple positions now because I kind of know what everybody does.
What was it like being a guy from Tallahassee playing Seminoles last week?
It was fun because, last year I was a third down guy, so, I got to play some, but not as much as I would like to. And, this year I started the game off with a sack, so it felt good. And then not only just to have a sack, but the way we beat them, that was a good team win, and it's something I could take back home with me.
So what have you heard? What have you been hearing this week from Tallahassee friends?
Just a lot of people saying, we didn't have to beat them that bad. Of course, we knew we were going to beat them, but a lot of people didn't want it to be that bad. But, that's just the game of football. That's why you play the game.
I know you were committed to Florida for a long time. What about Florida State? How much were they in the mix for you?
Florida State was a good school to me. They had offered me. I was just more interested in getting out of Tallahassee to continue my college ball.
Right. So was that just to you? Were you kind of I want to ball out against FSU, or was that something you were thinking?
I think it's just I want to ball out every game. To be honest with you, it didn't feel any different than any other game. It was just my mindset is to go out there and always do the best I can. So it was just another game.
Was it always, when Coach Grantham got here, did you guys talk about where he wanted you and kind of, did you feel like this was the best spot for you too?
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily my call, but with him and Coach Petrino and all the other defensive coaches being around college football for so long, I kind of know they know what they're talking about. So I didn't really gripe or complain when they moved me. I just made the transition, and it's paying off for me now.
James, you redshirted 1 year, right?
Yeah, my freshman year I was a medical red shirt.
What injury did you have?
I had torn meniscus, nothing major.
Okay, so you played a little bit, but then you got a red shirt out of that year, right? Were you playing middle linebacker that first year?
I was playing linebacker my freshman year.
Yeah. And then you went to
D tackle, then DN.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So what's it feel like to kind of feel like you've got your niche, your role that you've? I mean, it seems like this is where you're really thriving.
Good, you know, throughout my career, I guess I've been trying to kind of find a position and find a place that best fits me. And Coach Grantham and his defense, this is, you know, the best position for me. And I think, you know, I've did pretty good at it thus far.
What's it like to have, you know, Fields as your opposite guy, and the idea that they have to block both of you guys on each side?
This is great because, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where you know you don't have to worry. It's like, you know, how coaches say trust the guy next to you. I think not just me and Fields, but this whole defense in general, we really trust the people around us to make their play, or we know if the play goes the other way, we know we got guys over there that can make the play too.
What's Trayvon Young said to you the last couple of weeks? What's Trayvon said to you the last few weeks?
Oh, he just been telling me, you know, good game, keep balling, keep it up. You know, he real happy for me, so that's good.
Right. Did you feel like you were close to breaking one?
Yeah, well, pretty much all week, you know, we've been practicing, you know, block 'em up schemes, and you know, I knew with, you know, preparing all week, I felt like, you know, with the right blocking, I was gonna take one. And sure enough, did.
Coach said on Monday after watching the film, he talked about, I think Zach had a big block on one of them, but he talked about Alfonso on both of them. How much difference is it having a guy, you hadn't had a guy up like that all week, all year? How much different is that?
That helped out a lot. You know, some of my biggest returns last year was with the guy back there, and you know, with Fonzo back there, you know, it makes things a lot easier. You know, I feel more protected, you know, more safe catching the ball.
I know you like to have the ball in your hands. Does it take you back to some high school days?
Oh yeah, it takes me all the way back to the high school days. You know, just having the ball every game. You know, so you know, being back there at punt return is the closest thing I get to, you know, having the ball in my hands that much. So take advantage.
Did you ever ask to be on offense when you got here, or was it automatically assumed you went to defense?
You know, I did talk to the receiver coach a little bit about playing a little offense. You know, throwing me in the package a little bit. You know, he entertained that, so you know, I was expecting a little bit of offense. But you know, pretty much, you know, the need was in defense, and that's why I filled in.
It's easy for us to grab onto the offense, to grab onto Lamar. Defensively, I mean, you guys feel like you're peaking? You guys feel like you're playing well?
Yeah, the defense is coming together. You know, we got a lot of senior leaders, you know, that's helping, you know, younger guys, you know, like me and, you know, a few others, you know, helping us with the leadership role and, you know, coming together, making the right calls, and, you know, with the plays and studying the film. You know, that, you know, defense is really clicking right now, and I feel like we're going to go pretty far with that.
Jaire, how do you describe the various maybe strengths or the things that you all three individually bring to the table, you, Shaq, and True?
Well, you got quickness, coverability, physicality, and, you know, pretty much you need all that, you know, to play defensive back. You know, one of the, you know, technical positions out there on the field. You know, you need certain aspects to come together and, you know, make a whole, make a puzzle.
How do you not let the ranking seep into the locker room and affect you guys going out to this week?
Well, you know, we just got to come out, you know, prepare the same every week. You know, like Coach always say, we're not where we want to be, and you know, we just got to block out the noise, and you know, we just got to keep practicing the way we have. You know, Louisville Cardinal football, Coach said.
The whole country seemed kind of surprised on Saturday at how big you guys won. Everybody seemed surprised except you guys. Is that something you expected?
Well, you know, you come out and have a good week of practice. You know, you always expect to, you know, go out and execute like you do in practice. You know, practice how you play, and we had a good week of practice, so you know, it's expected of us.